Hi, it's Daryl again. I took a look at the Otaki Expressway being built, uh, I don't know, last week ago, and so this is a video of what I saw. You can see that actually it looks like there's a kind of a tar sealed layer there on the road. So this is in the bridge in the middle of Otaki, looking south. There's the railway line. So Otaki railway station is just past the trees to the right there, and that truck's heading down to the bridge that cuts across the river. That's the BP and the roundabout. So this is the roundabout in Otaki where you probably get held up if you drive north or south on a busy weekend or almost any other time these days. There seems to be a lot of traffic around. That's the railway line. So they double tracked and realigned the railway line past the railway station and under the new bridges. And in the distance there you can see the bridge that crosses over from, I don't know what's that, kind of like the Tihoro side of the river across to the road that goes up to the gorge. So the Otaki Forks Gorge, that is. And in the middle of the picture there, you can see a building in the concrete and aggregates plant area. That's where they're probably filtering a lot of gravel out of the ground there to get the aggregates to build the road. And in this view, we are looking north. So these are the road lanes there. There's space there for about 3 lanes in each direction. I guess the road's being built with 2 lanes in each direction, but almost all New Zealand roads are built with a kind of a breakdown lane where you can pull over to the side of the road if you need to stop your car in an emergency, something like that. Gives emergency services plenty of space to get by. Say the road's backed up because of a traffic jam and someone needs to get through in a fire engine or an ambulance, then there's plenty of space on most New Zealand roads to get through pretty well. Where the big yellow truck is there in the middle of the picture, that's heading north. That truck is heading north. It's heading north in the southbound lanes. And it just gives you an idea of the scale of the roadway there. So there'll be a barrier down the middle, presume probably a wire rope barrier. Most of the New Zealand roads are built with a wire rope barrier, although it could be done with concrete barriers as well down the centre, or Umco barriers. To the right of the road there's a pond. So most New Zealand roads are now built with a lot of very careful environmental care. We don't want to disrupt natural creeks and rivers and streams, particularly because we have a lot of native wildlife that fish and whitebait. They need the normal creeks and streams as places for breeding and laying eggs, that sort of thing. So here's settling ponds here. So there's actually a creek that passes between the, I don't know, about mid-picture, I guess. There's a creek, you can't quite see it, and there's these sort of drain spots where water that runs off will settle, so a lot of the sediments run out, so that improves the turbidity of the water flowing into the natural streams. There's a larger pond there. So the ponds at the side of the road can actually provide habitats for native birds or ducks or whatever, just space to hang out. So in a lot of cases, building a new road displaces wildlife, so sometimes it's good to build spaces back in for the wildlife to live. That road on that bridge is the current State Highway 1. It's just a single lane in each direction, so it's going to be a big improvement to have 2 lanes in each direction and an alternative road as well. Here's a kind of a closer in view of that settling pond. So there's all this sort of Hessian sacking or coconut fibre sacking material, which is used to stabilise the soil while the native plants grow. There's a lot of flaxes planted through the fabrics here, geotextiles, I guess they call them. That's sort of like a overflow. If this pond overflows, it can overflow into the creek there, so that the houses nearby won't flood. This is the bridge. This is coming from the Otaki roundabout near the BP petrol station. It's just a location that people know. And this heads off over towards the racing club. The racing club's up there in the distance. There's kind of a suburb over the side of Otaki. If you just go over this road and then turn left and go up onto the plateau there, there's a suburb of houses. I'm not sure how many houses over there. Probably quite a lot, several hundred houses. This is kind of a strange sort of a Spanish Italian looking, kind of looks like a sort of a manor house. I think it might be a wedding reception venue or something like that. Might be just a big house. So I've walked down off the bridge there, and this is just showing the plantings. So these plantings have been planted a couple of years ago now, and they are very good. They're coming away quite nicely and reinforcing the land. This is a drainage grid. So because of this is a low-lying area, this area is made with a lot of very specific drainage, and so that's actually a sort of a slotted drain that you can actually see right through the centre to where that kind of manor house is on the other side of the road. And this is a place for, I guess, floodwater to run through. I don't understand what direction it goes, but anyway, that's what I saw. This is an area that's just across the road from that drain. So this is just a very tiny little side road with a few houses down it. And so this area, that sign in the bush there, it's a sign that says this is a valued established trees, and these trees are providing sort of sound isolation from the roads, and also are providing screening to the houses that are nearby the highway. They're faded from when, I suppose they've been up there for 5 years or something. So what do you expect? They're just a valued collection of established trees that screen off the neighbourhood, which is what you want if you live nearby. That's probably a drainage pumping station. That's what I'd guess that blue roofed building was there. So that's the overpass bridge where I started the video from. And you can see that there's sort of miscellaneous trees and scrub here. And that's the current State Highway 1. And this is the side road that just goes past a few houses here and goes up towards where the that bridge is. So I take a walk up here just to have a look what's around. I can't remember specifically too much about this point. Oh, right, so there's that creek. So the creek, runs under the road there, and so that's why there's all those sort of drainage barrages there. So the water that drains off the motorway drains through settling ponds before it can re-enter into the natural stream. So that natural stream, I guess it goes through a tunnel under the new road. Okay, so that's the bridge where I started the video on. And you can see that it goes all the way through there. Here you can see some of the plantings down the side of the highway. So they've been planted for a little while. So hopefully they'll grow quite nicely and fill in, a bit of the audio landscape before the highway opens. Those are the lanes heading north towards the right there. So this is that's the main carriageway going north towards Taylor's Road, I guess. I'm going to walk up and go over the bridge there and show the view from the top of that bridge in the next couple of scenes. So here we are. I've walked around and I'm at the intersection, which is now, as far as I can tell, it's kind of a closed off road. And this is the State Highway 1 traffic. It's a pretty busy road. This is like the main road that goes from Wellington north, and it's being replaced to this. So this will be a big improvement for carrying capacity past these are the very northern suburbs of Wellington. So this is 75 kilometres north of Wellington. So it's the first time that there's going to be a motorway all the way through all the Wellington region. Okay, here's the view from up above on the new bridge. You can see there's a lot of that sacking geotextile fabric, and there's a drain that drains down and then drains through the rocks and then goes into a kind of like I guess it's a swale, a open wide drain, and then it goes into that pond. You can see here some of the kind of structure, how the bridges have materials around them. That's the couple of, I guess, the traffic lights for railways. I can't remember what they're called. They've got 4 lights on them. Sorry, 3 lights on them. And they double-tracked the section all the way through, which means that in the future, if they do commuter trains, that will provide for that. It's just some information about how the bridges are labelled there. Kind of find it interesting to see those little details. I think this has got a seismic, you can see that the movement of the bridge has caused the asphalt on the top to crack. There's a lot of traffic. I recorded audio with this, but it was better to just re-record the audio because it was quite noisy. So this is on the north side of the bridge, and there's a sand drag for the railway there, and there we go, zoom in there, and so that's to prevent railway cars running backwards through that. But I don't think it's possible because it's kind of uphill. Maybe it's an optical illusion, and maybe it's not uphill. Anyway, you can see here there was some more of those plantings, and this looks like it's a on-ramp, so you better drive down here and onto the motorway. So you can see that most of the underlying structure of the roadway is kind of done. This needs to be finished off. They really are doing a lot of work up there, getting it prepared. So this bit's currently unsealed. It's compacted. I think there must be a lot of layers of aggregate. So I think the way that roads are made is the layers get finer as they get higher. And you can see some more drainage and settling ponds. There's just a massive work in the environmental work. It's so much better the way that roads are built now than they used to be built a long time ago. Okay, and so that's the view. There's another bridge over another stream up just out of sight there. Maybe you can see the roadway is actually on the bridge up there. Anyway, this is very near the end of the video, so thanks for watching. Hope you got to see some details. I always like to see the details of things, which is why I make these videos. I'm just interested in seeing the stuff as it's built, as they build it. I enjoy seeing that there's actually some infrastructure going into the country and things are becoming better as time goes by. This is an access so that I guess the railway workers can get access to the side of the railway, go and maintain the lights. And you can see the bridges in the background where those diggers are. They're possibly on the bridge. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's the end of the video.